Welcome back to Project Reworked and my Suzuki A100 restoration. So, will it start? Starting the bike for the first time is always an exciting part of the project. So I hope you enjoy it. Those will remember that it actually was running. I did get the bike running when I first had the bike, so there's no reason why it shouldn't start. So I stripped down the carb completely, took it to work and had it ultrasonically cleaned. So I didn't use a repair kit, I just cleaned everything that was there and reassembled it. The previous owner had told me that the carb had been overhauled or had had a repair kit. It was actually quite dirty, and the bike was running, but it was actually quite dirty, and all of the fuel pipes were hard and brittle and rotten, so I replaced those as well. So back on the A100, I did start it a couple of nights ago. Didn't think it was. I didn't really plan for it to start, but I just threw the carb back in, and just kicked it over a couple of times, and it fired up. So that was a surprise, but it revs really high, and I think that the slider is being held up in the carb. Also, there's a leak from the carb, which I think is just the drain here. So I'm going to rip the carb back out and see if we can work out why that slider doesn't go down further. The throttle cable is loose and choke cable's loose, so it seems to run quite nicely. I could control it by just holding over the air, the air intake there to restrict the revs, but I didn't want to keep it running because it was just revving far too high. Anyway, let's see how we get on. So as you can see, new pink fuel line installed. Thank you. So I wonder whether that's the issue there. And then you can see this adjustment pin is binding. Let's see whether. I think that'll be it. Let's see. I don't know, is that better? it is. Let's leave it like that. Let's throw it back in. Smallest O-ring I've got, I don't think it's small enough. Might be okay if you don't have to tighten it. Let's try and replace the old breather hoses. These are completely done. That in. I'm going to go too hard with it. Not sure where that's meant to go, but let's get it out of the way. We'll find a home for that. Something like that. Okay. We're just on the other side of the bike now, down by the oil pump. And these bikes are fitted with auto lube, so you don't have to put two-stroke mix in the tank. Now I don't know whether I've lost it or didn't come with it, but there should be like a brass ferrule cylinder thing that goes in there, so that the nipple, the end of the cable, get it through. Engages in there. Now, the reason it does that is because the throttle cable is split into two up here on the bike. So when you open the throttle, it opens the carb, but it also increases the amount of fuel that goes in the engine. So there's the pipe, tiny tube that comes out, and I think it puts the feed into the crank. It's one or two oiling places within the engine. So I've got a bit of a workaround, which is a universal, I don't know what you call it, thingy. It would mean cutting the ripple off the cable, so that might be quite a good way of doing it, although it doesn't look like there's much room there to get the cable through. It's going to be quite tight, and I want to make sure the cable's the right length, but see whether, let's see if, that doesn't quite fit in there either, so I'd have to make that fit. Before I do that, I'm just going to have another look round and make sure I haven't mislaid it in plain sight. Apparently these are called narps. Never heard that before, but that's what the packet said, and I made the mistake of grinding it down so it now fits. But I lost the Allen key, or the Allen screw, the Allen grub screw, and as every home hobbyist mechanic will know, that ain't going to be easy to find. So what I might do is just cut down an ordinary screw. The only thing that worries me is that the domed head might be in the way when the cover's on, and it will stop the valve opening and closing, but who knows. So first thing to do is probably to cut that off and see how badly those cables fray, to see whether we can actually get them in, the hole. Actually no, first off I'm going to cut the replacement screw down. First job though, let's cut the existing nipple off. No going back. I think what I might do is drill that hole out just a little bit, make it a bit easier. So I've opened that up just a tiny amount. Hopefully that'll fit in there now. Back through there. That should open. There you go. Narps, cable ends. Loosen that off a little bit, see if we can get some more cable through there. So pull the throttle. As you can see, I still haven't installed the front forks and the steering, so I've just got the gauges plugged in temporarily. Couldn't really wait to see what it was going to run like after I'd rebuilt the carb and cleaned out the oil pump and fixed the oil pump. Oh good. Well, the quick fix. Gasket didn't work. I think the fuel's coming out of there. Pretty sure it is. See if I've got anything else. Didn't have a gasket. Found an old gasket for a lawnmower carburetor. Let's see whether that will. Again, it's not exactly right, but it might. Let's see.
Couldn't use the fuel tank at this stage, so I had a separate fuel supply in a bottle just to give us enough fuel to see whether it was going to run.
Okay, so that seems pretty good. What I might do is just, because there's the bottle's airtight, I might just tie the cable up for now. Ignition on. Choke. Choke on, let's see what happens.
So I think here we go, first kick. So I think there you go, 2 kicks in total and bike started. Still some adjustment to do on the carb. thanks again for watching. Now I know that the engine's good, I can continue to put the rest of the bike back together and get it finished.